Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be going through the current weekly lab on BugForge, which is the next iteration of Galaxy Dash. This is a fun one. It's a type confusion lab, so let's jump in and see what we've got. All right, so I've already gone ahead and I've gotten two organizations set up. I don't think this is strictly necessary for this one, but this is just how I did it. So I spent a little bit of time uh, on this part, kind of going into a rabbit hole here. So, um, I would set up a delivery, and I would look at different things, and just see if I could find any kind of like cross-site scripting or template injection or anything. Like, you see some of these values here, these are controllable. Because if we come over and look um, at the post requests for the bookings endpoint, you see that there's all these different values. Some of them are taking ints, some of them are taking strings. And what I was messing around with was like, say for example, danger level. I'll send this to replay, and I'll try changing the danger level. And what I found was it takes a string, and I'd try sending it like 100. Okay, so booking created successfully. If we come back up here, so now I've got this delivery booked with a 100 danger level. And what I was doing was I was trying to see if I could get uh, anything in here, any HTML to actually render, and I couldn't get anything to render. You see, if you put any kind of HTML in here, it just doesn't display at all. And it was the same thing for the rest of these fields. But that's kind of along the lines of what the actual vulnerability in this lab is. So if you come over here to team, the whole objective is to try to see if we can create a user that has access to another organization. So let me just show you this here. So this is my org1. And if I look at organization and then come over here, API organization 304 not modified strikes again. Send that, and it's got an ID of 4. And if I come over and look at my org2 and look at that organization and come over and look, replay that to get rid of the if none match, send it. You see this has an ID of 5. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to try to create a user from my organization 1 with ID 4 that has access to my org2 with ID of 5. So let's just create a team member and just see what that looks like. So I've already created 2 users, tester 1 and tester 2. So now I'm going to create tester 3 at test.com, password tester 3, and I'll just give tester 3 everything, and I'll make it an organization admin. Add member. Now if we come over and look at the post request to API team right here, and we see these are all the fields that we filled in. And in the response, it's got this organization ID of 4. So that is reflecting the organization ID of the organization from which that user was created. So what I want to do is I want to try to create a user where this organization ID is 5. Okay, so let me send this to replay. And I'm going to try to create another user and see if I can get this working. Okay, so now I'm just changing this to everything to tester 4. And what I want to do is I want to add an organization ID parameter and say 5. Okay, and we get this error. That's only create users for your organization. So what's probably happening on the back end is there's probably some kind of logic in place that says if organization ID does not equal that user's organization ID, print this error message or reject the request. Don't allow it to happen. But if you notice, what I'm sending here is I'm sending an int. I'm sending this is an integer data type. So what happens if I send a string data type? We saw on the previous endpoint, on the booking endpoint, that the application was accepting integers and strings. Excuse me. Integers and strings. So what I want to do here is I want to see if it's also checking if I send this as a string instead of as an integer. So if I send that, now I get organization ID is 5, team member added successfully. Now the interesting thing with this is JavaScript is a dynamically typed language. So unlike a language like C, where data types are declared and established at compile time, this JavaScript isn't like that. So what's probably happening is this is being interpreted as an int based on the context of the application, but there's not actually a specific type checking on the back end to ensure that if I send this as a string, that it's actually checking that value against my my organization ID. So this is appears to be getting passed. So if I come back over here to my history and I'll find a login request here somewhere, or API login. I'll just send that to replay. Now I just want to log in with my tester4 account, and you see that we get the flag in the email, but if you notice in the organization ID attribute, we've got 5 right here. So that's what I was saying. The backend is interpreting that string value as 5 as an integer, based on the context of the application and what this is expecting. Now, full disclosure, I don't know what the back end of this application looks like. This is just my kind of how I'm interpreting this. So I imagine it's something along those lines anyway. But the the validation check was only being performed on the integer when we sent that, and not on the string value. So, and I'll show you something else. So, as a couple of other people have pointed out, this also works with um, other data types that are not ints. So if we try to create tester 5, tester 5, and now instead of sending a string, I'm going to send it an array and just say 5. And send that. Oh, okay. That's weird. Not sure why I'm getting that, but weird. Okay. Let's I'm going to try to just intercept this here real quick. I want to try to illustrate this. Tester 5. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me turn my intercept off, refresh this, go over here, refresh that. Okay, so see, we've got tester 4 here. Now I'm going to queue. I wonder if I broke something and I need to restart the lab. I don't really want to do that, but a couple of other folks have shown in their walkthroughs that the array data type also works for this. I just want to see if I can demonstrate that here. Okay, let's organization ID 5. And I'm still getting username or email already exists. I'm not sure why. Anyway, I'm not going to try to troubleshoot that too much on the video, but hopefully you get the idea. I thought this was a pretty fun lab. It's very subtle. I kind of went into a rabbit hole for a little while on this. Kind of kicked myself a little bit because I was messing around with the booking endpoint on the first night. Put it away for the night, and then when I came back and tried the team endpoint the next morning, for whatever reason, I just didn't even think to try that at first until I was reading something completely unrelated to this, or even the unrelated to the this type of exploit that made me think of it. So yeah, I thought this was a fun one. Hopefully you did as well. And I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.